We thank you for your spirit and your power resting upon us. We thank you for making crooked places straight. We thank you for healing in our bodies. We thank you that no weapon formed against us will be able to prosper. We thank you, Lord, for being our way-maker. We thank you for covering us with your precious blood. We thank you for moving on our behalf. We thank you for open doors of opportunity. And for those who are need to be closed, we thank you for closing them. We thank you that we are not a part of the enemy's plan or scheme, that you protect us. In Jesus' name. We give your name the glory and the honor and the praise. In the name of Jesus. We thank you, God, for being our God, for showing up and showing out in every way. In Jesus' name, amen. Yesterday, while I was coming on my way home, it was around about 5 o'clock, somewhere around that time, 5, 6 o'clock. I was on my way home, and I happened to, and I knew I had to get home quickly because I wanted to finish up my message that I had prepared for today. And then when I went on Instagram, I just saw something. I saw a word. And when I saw that word, I said, okay, I see I'm going to be changing directions. Every year there are two terms that we normally hear. They are spring forward and fall back. These terms are meant to trigger our memory to set our clocks forward 1 hour in the springtime at the start of daylight savings time and 1 hour back in the fall when daylight savings time ends. Coincidentally, our subject today is fall back. Many of us get excited when it comes to fall back because it means we get to sleep or hang out a little bit longer. We sometimes can't wait till it comes. I can't wait. Why? Because we get excited just for that one more hour. Today we want to look at this phrase from a spiritual perspective and not so much from a natural perspective. From a spiritual perspective, the phrase takes us on a positive connotation and not a negative. Let's look at this phrase but in no particular order by its definition. It starts out with the word to fall backwards or downplay. We sometimes need to lean back, or we would call recline. Our posture can be off, and we need to make sure we are in a place or state of comfort. We found ourselves moving before time or without all the proper resources to be successful. Why should we be at a disadvantage if we do not have everything we need? Amen. We know the things we know how things are supposed to be and what we're supposed to have. And so it says, you sometimes have to fall back in order to get what you need. We can mow the lawn in a suit, properly dressing with a tie today. I can go home and I can mow my lawn in a suit, or I can fall back and put on the proper attire for mowing the lawn. That's when I put on my jeans and my regular sweatshirt or something on, and my boots and things, and I go out and begin to mow the lawn in so that I don't mess up my clothes. It's one thing to dirty up my work clothes. It's another thing to dirty up my good suit clothes. There's a difference when I get a stain on this versus getting a stain on my work jeans and my sweatshirt. Doesn't matter if it's all messed up. That's why I put it on, because I don't mind it getting dirty and dingy and all this other stuff. But this, on the other hand, is a different story if I decide to mow the lawn in this. Now, whether I mow the lawn in this or in my work clothes for mowing the lawn, the lawn is still going to be mowed. But I fall back because I need to have the proper attire. So in that scenario, falling back is not a negative. It's like putting things in proper order. God says comfort allows us to relax in Him, knowing that He has everything under control. Comfort. I can be comfortable in my suit, or I can be comfortable in my jeans. The second definition is defined as to hang or to fall behind in movement, progress, or development. We sometimes need to lag or linger behind. Instead of being the leader, we have to take on the role of a follower for our own protection. God wants to do the heavy lifting while we follow behind Him. Sometimes you have to fall back so that God can take the lead. He said, it's my turn to lead this. Sometimes He says, what you're in is too much for you to handle. There will be a point where you need to lead, but there's also be a point where you need to know how to follow. So He says, fall back so that I can be the leader. When it snows, nothing like driving behind a car that has already paved the way. It makes driving behind the car very easy, because if you had to drive on an unplowed snow road, it is likely that you're going to get stuck. However, if someone else has already paved the way for you, all you have to do is follow right behind. Look at that. And oftentimes, many of us who drive, we follow right behind. They already made the road, and we follow it. If we have paid attention, we'll see those that didn't follow behind stuck with their wheels turning, trying to move, but it's because they fell out. So God says, fall back so that I can take the lead.
Yes, sir.
As a follower, God says, watch what I do so that when it's our time, when it becomes our turn to lead, we will avoid unnecessary mistakes. God says protection keeps us out of the snares of the enemy. Number 3. We talk about fall back means to move back or away from. We sometimes need to withdraw. Withdrawal brings forth preservation. What can easily get lost in what we are doing? We can easily get lost in what we are doing if we are always on the go. So if we're always moving without being able to sit back and relax, we can get caught up in where we're in. Yes, sir. We sometimes need to reserve what we have and reconnect with God and ourselves. When we are always on the go, as we said earlier, we can get lost on where we are going. Our purpose, our destiny, our dream, our vision, our desires can easily be altered, which can cause us to lose everything. And so instead of working towards our purpose, our destiny, our dreams, and our visions, we are working against it. Yes. Have you ever been watching a TV or a movie, and all of a sudden you see two teams going against each other? And then while they're fighting against one another, all of a sudden you see one team retreat. They start backing up. And then the next scene, you see the same group that fell back strategizing somewhere. Probably sitting around a table or something, strategizing how they're going to win this battle. You would have thought they were quitting because they fell back. But they were just regrouping to decide how we're going to win this battle. And they understood that if we're going to win this battle, we can go full steam ahead now and miss it or lose this battle, or we can just fall back, do a little regrouping, re-strategizing, and then go back into battle and win it. It's better to preserve our resources now in a battle that we may not be able to win. Another example, this can be in a boxing match. You can see one boxer getting beat up by one point to the other. And then get beat up for most of the match. And you can say to yourself, based upon what you see, they're going to lose the battle or lose the fight. And then all of a sudden, they end up having their hand raised in victory. Why? Because while the first boxer was exerting a lot of energy, the second boxer said, I'll take all the hits I can take. While they get tired and their hands begin to drop, then I will hit it with the knockout punch. We move back in order to preserve what we have. Then the fourth month means to retreat or recede. We sometimes have to return to our original or previous state or condition in order to gain the advantage. Life can easily lead us into a state of wandering, and we have to be put back into balance. Balance ensures that we stay on the course before we start wandering in the wilderness where we are not supposed to be wandering in. It allows us to do a quick reassessment as to where we are. Life has a way of making us forget who we are, who we belong to, and cause us to leave our assignment undone. God says balance helps keep us focused on the task at hand. The fifth definition is having recourse to resort, employ, or use, or utilize. We sometimes have to put things into service in order for everything to work out according to our original plan. Change is necessary because things around us are always evolving. What worked yesterday may not work today. Yesterday we received most of our information from the newspaper. Today we receive all our information from the internet. It worked on yesterday, but it doesn't work on much on today. Another example I have there, when it snows outside, buses normally put chains on the bus wheels.
Oh, yes, they do.
The company knows that the buses with chains on it will function better in the snow. While those buses without chains will not function as smoothly. God says change gives us the opportunity to adapt to the surrounding we find ourselves in. We have number 6. And it can be seen as a negative, but we want to turn to a positive. And that means the 6th definition of fall back means to go back to bad behavior. When things are not going the way we want them to go, we have the tendency to regress, revert, to turn to what we used to be doing. It's what we call the comfort zone, that which we call familiar or complacency. But here we are going back to what we call to let go. Letting go allows us to take on what is new. God says letting go serves as a reminder of that which once held us captive no longer has the same hold on us. When we can look back at where we came from and see where we are now, we are able to know that we are no longer in a state of bondage, but in a state of liberty and freedom. Amen. We are no longer a hostage to our past. Amen. When we fall back, we will think we are losing something, but God says we are gaining something. God is allowing us to rest, reset time. It helps us to get back in alignment with God. When we fall back, it's not a retreat as much as it is a regroup to go forward. It represents a reset or a redo. or a do-over. We think we are losing time, but we are able to gain time. Early this morning around 2 o'clock, early this morning 2 o'clock became 1 o'clock. When it became 2 o'clock, I was still up watching TV. And preparing for this message. But at 2 o'clock, when it became 1 o'clock, I decided to go to sleep. I had what we call, I had a fallback and allowed it to have a do-over. Meaning, at 1 o'clock, the first 1 o'clock, I was watching TV. When God gave me a do-over, I was going to sleep. When one tells another to fall back, it requires a level of trust. This is when we are able to trust that when we fall back in their arms, they're going to catch us. But in order for us to have enough faith that they're going to catch us, we have to have a certain level of relationship with them. That says, when I fall back, are you going to catch me? Or do you have the ability to catch me? Because if I don't think you have the ability to catch me, and I think you're not going to catch me, then when I fall back, I'm going to be doing a little bit. I won't just fall. I'll slowly ease my way into a fall back. Because I don't trust whether or not you're going to grab me or not. But God says, I want you to fall back in my arms. Knowing that no matter what you're going through, I've got your back. When we think we're running out of time, God says, fall back. Sometimes taking a step back allows our mind and thoughts to be rejuvenated. We are moving so quick that we are not allowing things to settle before we start making changes. We may think what we're doing is not getting any results, but in reality, we are not allowing the results to be produced. We have become impatient when we should be relaxing. Sometimes we can be going through some pain and we decide to take a pill. And the minute we take the pill, we want immediate results. And since I just took this pill and I didn't get immediate results, what do? We take another pill. And then when we still don't get the results, what do? We take another pill. And so before we know it, within 5 minutes, we have taken 5 pills. Why? Because when we took the first pill, we were expecting to get results, but we didn't get any results at all. When we fall back, God says, be settled, be at rest. Know that I'm going to move, but I may not always move when you want me to move, but when you fall back in my arms, I got you. Gotcha, man. So instead of the pills that we took helping us, it becomes detrimental to our health. Because if we had read the instruction said take 1 pill every 24 hours. We decided to take 5 pills in 5 minutes when that should have taken us 5 days. When we appear to be off balance, losing our mind, God says, fall back. When we fall back into God's arms, we gain the rest that we need, that we will find nowhere else. The rest will sharpen us and allow us to do His will better. The rest will sharpen us to overcome all obstacles. Today, God is telling us to fall back. It may seem like we're losing something when we fall back, because of the natural fall back has a negative connotation. But God says today, I need you to be able to fall back in my arms, knowing that no matter what direction I fall in, you're going to be what I need you to be. And in life, again, life is so hard that falling back.
Yes, sir.
Pay attention.
And you sometimes wonder, is God going to catch me? But sometimes God will let you, I'm going to fall back a little bit more. God doesn't always catch you immediately. And no matter what direction you're in, when I go that way, God catches me. When I go this way, God catches me. When I go back, God says, I got you.
Yes, sir. Amen.
Why? Because no matter what, when you fall back, you're falling back in me.
Amen.
The interesting thing about fall back is that when we go this way, God catches us. When we go this way, God catches us. When we fall back this way, God catches us. When we go this way, we think we may say to ourselves, I hurt myself. Why? Because God allowed me to fall.
Sometimes.
But what did God do? Before I fell, He made my fall on Christian. So even though I might say I hurt myself, I really didn't feel anything at all.
Amen.
So yes, I failed. But He had prepared the way. Fall back. Knowing that God has you covered.
Amen. Thank you, Jesus.
He's not going to let you be caught in the snares of the adversary when you're his. And it's not, as I said, all those different definitions, all those different scenarios to let you know, it's not a negative. God says, as a believer, I need you to fall back. Yes, sir. Fall back to gain some strength. Yes. Fall back to know that when you fall back, sometimes it's just simply falling on your knees. Yes, sir. To get proper instructions from me, amen, so that I can properly lead you in the path you ought to go. Yes, sir. Amen. God says, fall back in me. I have you covered. Not only do I have your back, I got your side, and your front. I'm going to cover you all over.
Amen.
Fall back. God bless you.